those unaware, this is a strategy type game based off of the board game. I don't remember if it was originally by WizKids or FASA, but it's drawn a lot of inspiration from your mecha anime from the 80s. And if you're not familiar with what I mean by that, the original designs for the Warhawk were based off of, or not the Warhawk, the Warhammer, was based off of the Tomahawk from Robotech, the Marauder from the Zentradi officer unit, the Phoenix Hawk from the Veritech itself, and so on. So if you're familiar with retro anime, a lot of these mechs could look familiar. Thing is, they did lose the rights to some of the stuff over the years, so they did have to change the designs. As such, I don't know what all we'll actually see here. I don't know what all they got back, what all they didn't. But otherwise, this is based off the board game, as I said. There are quite a few changes just to facilitate it being made into a video game, and we are going to tackle the campaign mode. So, new campaign. Killhound's Mercenary Command was founded in 3010 by Morgan and Patrick Kell, using the inheritance from the death of their father. As the name implies, that's one of the mercenary groups. I don't know what you're part of, if you're your own mercenary or what exactly. Increases your reputation with a faction, gives you discounts, good to know. So anyway, if you're not familiar with the story of Battletech, humanity has expanded out into space, they formed the Star League, all is well and good. Then the Star Lord, or the First Lord of the Star League, was assassinated, and the groups started fighting over who the successor is, who assassinated him, and so on, and basically you had this colossal civil war erupt that lasts for a very, very long time. That's pretty much what we're jumping into. Now, in the event the game does get a sequel, be aware that some of the Star League soldiers took off to the far reaches of space because they didn't want to be involved in all this, and they will come back when they introduce level 2 rules. But as far as I know, the game itself is only about level 1 rules, intersphere type stuff.
I am Kamea of House Urano, High Lady of the Oregon Reach, Protector of Coromadir, and the Sword of Restoration. But I am not a hero, no matter what the stories say. A hero would have sacrificed more, compromised less. A hero would have done better. You know this, of course. You were there. My father used to tell me stories about the ancient times. About the Star League, a golden age of prosperity, upheld by the great mech warriors of old, guardians of the innocent, protectors of the peace. I always dreamed of following in their footsteps. I was too young to see the truth of things. After all, it wasn't heroism or a noble cause that won me the throne. It was hiring a mercenary, skilled enough, perhaps ruthless enough, to carry the day. Hiring you. I still don't know if you fought for honor or for the thrill of it, for belief in my cause, or just in my money. But whether it was your noble heart or mercenary mind, your actions gave us hope. That makes you a hero in the eyes of history. Whether you believe it, that's up to you.
Okay, so with that out of the way, we are now beginning. So welcome to the Oregon Reach. The Oregon Reach is a small kingdom in the RimWorld periphery, a region of space that lies on the outskirts of the more densely colonized Inner Sphere. It is home to the Oregon Coalition, a federation organized around a parliamentary monarchy and ruled by the Areno family. For 3 generations under the rule of House Areno, the Oregon Coalition has remained a relatively peaceful corner of the periphery. It is here your story begins. So I was kind of hoping they'd give you a better view of the star map, but there are 5 main houses. You have Davion, Steiner, Merrick, Karita, and Lau. I believe those are actually the order of them from biggest to smallest. Davion is known as the Federated Sons, Steiner is known as the Lyran Alliance, Merrick is the Free Worlds Alliance, Krita is Draconis Combine, and Liao is... damn, I can't remember them. But anyway, since this is supposed to be the start of the Inner Sphere Wars, I believe, they should be comparable size. Main thing to know is that when Steiner and Davion do unite, they lose ground to Krita, but they gain more ground from Liao, leaving them a very, very small power. But otherwise, there are also all sorts of smaller factions in the Outer Rim, basically the outskirts of this colonized space. You have the, I'm trying to remember what the Norse group is called. They're actually, like, in the circle, but the outside groups are the Outworlds Alliance, you have the Taurian Concordat, St. Ives is actually in the middle, I believe, still. And the center of all this is supposed to be Earth, in case you're wondering. So, picture Earth at the middle of this giant circle, and that's what the Inner Sphere is supposed to look like. So what happens if I click Appearance? Anything? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, they actually do have them listed here. The Capellan Confederation, that's Lao. And then these are the smaller ones I was telling you about. So your family came to the Reach. From here you have to decide your hierarchy. So I'll actually read these in case you're not familiar with the background. Draconis Combine is House Krita. Mech warriors who hail from the Combine tend to be fierce, disciplined, and relentless fighters, no matter the odds they might face on the battlefield. So this is basically the Japanese ethnicity, in case you're trying to picture them that way. Although the Draconis Combine is as ethnically diverse as any of the vast Interstellar empires, also one of the most culturally homogeneous. Over centuries of rule, the founding House Krita has succeeded in uniting the people of the Combine into a single culture, one heavily molded around medieval Japanese society. So keep in mind they believe themselves to be samurai and such. While some, most notably the descendants of the conquered Principality of Rasselhog, that's the Norse group I was thinking of. So they are supposed to be... like, it's hard to kind of give you directions here because it's a three-dimensional space. There isn't like a magnetic north in space, so just know that Rasselhog and Krita are combined, and on the other side of Rasselhog is Steiner. On the other side of Krita is Davion. On the other side of Davion is Liao. On the other side of Liao is Merrick. And then Merrick is next to Steiner. It's one big circle. So Rasselhog continues to chafe the uniformity of Draconis society. Overall, it's created a more cohesive populace and military than seen in the other houses of the Inner Sphere. Merrick. This is the American group, I believe. Mech warriors who hail from the Free Worlds League tend to be passionate, enduring fighters who value justice and equality above all else. The oldest and theoretically most democratic of the great successor states of the Inner Sphere, the Free Worlds League is actually a broad coalition of many minor noble houses. For most of the League's history, it has been ruled under martial law by a Captain General who is by tradition from House Merrick. Cultural diversity and relative independence of its component regions are at once the greatest strength of the Free Worlds League and its greatest weakness. So they mentioned this is one of the 5 successor states, located rimward, anti-spinward of Terra, ruled by House Merrick. After the Star League fell, they got broad control over its economy, government, Captain General, powerful mercantile state. Current leader is Janos Merrick. Then the successor states, there are 5 of which: Federated Sons, Draconis Combine, Capella Confederation, Free Worlds League, and Lyran Commonwealth. Inner Sphere. So these are all the spaces 500 light years within Earth. 5 successor states, yada yada yada. And then House Merrick. We stand united. The Free Worlds League, the oldest of all successor states, long been ruled by House Merrick. It's an open, multicultural state consisting of many great and small realms loosely joined together, politically fragile and frequently riven with instability. Yep, that sounds like the US these days. As for House Krita, this is the Combine. I'm not going to read all of these, but just know that mostly Japanese ancestry. The current leader is Takashi Krita. House Krita, Honor the Dragon. Founded by Shiro Krita, strong Japanese culture. Rasselhog, minor interstellar state, conquered 700 years ago by the Draconis Combine. So if you're wondering why Rasselhog is so important, this is where the clans come into contact with the Inner Sphere. It's even on one of their worlds that Comstar holds its last stand against the clans, and that's pretty much the significance of Rassilhawk. And then Inner Sphere, we've seen that one already. So Merrick, you can see their symbol is some sort of bird. I don't know if that's actually supposed to be an eagle or what, because there actually are different species in space. This will come into play when the clans arrive because of the Jade Falcons, Smoke Jaguars, and so on. Ghost Bear comes to mind. Federated Sons, Davion. Mech Warrior, this is the British group, I believe. Mech Warriors hail from the Federated Sons and possess more finely honed skills and better equipment than their counterparts from other regions of space. They often see themselves as righteous warriors and champions of liberty, sometimes to a fault. Though nearly extinguished by the Draconis Combine in the First Succession War, hint hint, the Federated Sons, a constitutional monarchy ruled by the renowned House Davion, has become arguably the most powerful of the 5 great successor states. Through skillful military campaigns and subtle diplomacy, House Davion has significantly increased the number of star systems under its control in the last 2 centuries. So you want to read about Federated Sons. Located rimward, spinward of Terra, ruled by House Davion. They pride themselves on self-proclaimed role as defenders of justice and liberty. They're capable of ruthless, decisive action, though its idealism gives way to pragmatism. The leader is Hans Davion, experienced and unconventional military commander. They have an alliance with the Lyran Commonwealth, which ended the Third Succession War. And that's why I was hinting at when they become the big power. So Draconis Combine, that's House Kurita, First Succession War, that's what happened. Oh, they actually give you a little bit of detail. So this is from 2786 to 8221. So I believe the clans come back in 3042. And that's what starts another war. So anyway, Minoru Kurita declared himself the new First Lord of the Star League. Leaders of the other houses followed suit, becoming known as Successor Lords. They didn't ally with him, they called themselves First Lords. So Davion's leader is the First Prince, in case you're wondering. Merrick, it's the Captain General, was it, or something like that? And then, what was Kurita's? I forgot what their commander is called. Each commander has its title. Coordinator is the Draconis Combine. Captain General, yeah. In case you're wondering, it's been years since I played Battletech. As such, some of the stuff is a little bit rusty, and it's a little... hopefully you guys don't mind we're kicking this off with actual lore. So anyway, House Davion by Freedom Sword. Davion family led the Federated Sons become the largest by Freedom Sword as their motto. Champions of freedom, democracy, human rights, although reality is not so clear-cut. They mentioned the new Avalon Institute of Science. I should mention that technology has actually regressed since the age of Star League. So when the clans come back, they're going to have all these high-tech things that Comstar still has because they didn't take part in this whole slugfest and gradually lose stuff. Lyran Commonwealth, their leader is the Archon. This is supposed to be the German group, I believe. Mech warriors who hail from the Lyran Commonwealth tend to be hardy, well-equipped, and well-trained, though they also have earned a reputation for not being particularly strategic thinkers on the battlefield. These are the guys that pack the AC-20, the biggest gun possible, in case you're wondering. Wealth is the greatest strength of the merchant princes of the Lyran Commonwealth, ruled by House Steiner. Despite a number of humiliating defeats in the first 2 succession wars, the Lyran Commonwealth has bounced back thanks to the combined strength of its economy, the biggest of the 5 great successor states, and its control of the Inner Sphere's largest functioning battle-mech factories. What the Lyran Commonwealth may lack in military powers, it makes up with raw number and industrial scale. Lyran Commonwealth, one of the 5 states, the core word, anti-spin word of Terra, ruled by House Steiner. The Commonwealth is the wealthiest of the 5, entrenched and powerful noble class, so just remember these guys are ruled by their aristocracy. Prestige and pedigree are the key things. It's the detriment of the military strength because you'll have a buffoon and an atlas running things into the ground. The current leader is Archon Katrina Steiner, notable for her peace proposal that an ally of the Commonwealth of Federated Sons ended the Third Succession War. I don't know if she's the one that killed someone with a jump jet, I forgot which one that is exactly. As for House Steiner, indomitable will. With many resource-rich worlds, shrewd business acumen, and a strong industrial base, the Lyran Commonwealth, under the stewardship of proudly Germanic House Steiner, prospered even during the worst of times. High industrial output, average standard of living exceed that of the other successor states, vast wealth other military reversals, especially the self-inflicted ones, which is the main problem with House Steiner. Succession Wars. Here we go. So, wide-ranging conflicts from the successor states lasted from 2086 to the current year of 3025. During these wars, the Great Houses mobilized vast numbers of battle mechs to destroy each other and claim territory with the ultimate goal of ruling the Inner Sphere. A notable consequence of these conflicts was the significant loss of advanced technology from prior Star League era. Once again, they feel the pain when the clans come back. Successor states, we've seen that one already, and then we've seen Inner Sphere. So, Capellan Confederation, Liao. This is the Chinese group, in case you're wondering. Mecha warriors who hail from the Capellan Confederation are dedicated and steadfast combatants, capable of holding the line and often surprising those opponents who would make the mistake of underestimating them. The Capellan Confederation has suffered the most at the hands of the other successor states over the last 2 centuries of war, having lost nearly half of the territory it once controlled at the height of Star League's rule. Over time, the leadership of House Liao has transformed the Capellan Confederation into a socialist police state with a highly regulated economy. Most Capellans take great pride in their citizenship, which must be earned through service to the state. So yeah, Davion took half of their stuff. Seriously. So if you want to read about them here, they're one of the 5 successor states. Ruled by House Liao, the Confederation is the smallest and newest of the successor states, often the loser in the conflicts. It's an authoritarian police state. Philosophical text known as the Corvin Doctrine told subservience of the individual to the state. They must earn position, citizens must earn position through service to the community. Current leader is Chancellor Maximilian Lau, a shrewd planner and master manipulator, so their leader is the Chancellor. Then House Liao, one vision. The Capellan Confederation is the smallest. Last form created by Capella by neighboring states in 2366 gave the Confederation its Han Chinese character and ensured the survival of the realm through strong, if frequently erratic, rule. Popularly disparaged as a totalitarian police state, Capellan citizens enjoy a high degree of personal freedom and willingly serve the state in return for the generous services it provides. As for Canopus, I really don't know much about this one at all. Mech warriors who hail from the Magistracy of Canopus can rule and run the gamut of skill and fighting styles, but they often favor clever and orthodox tactics on the field. While smaller than the other great successor states of the Inner Sphere, the Magistracy of Canopus is one of the major powers of the remote periphery. The Magistracy is a matriarchal society led by a magistrix. This is an elected position open to any woman, but largely controlled by House Centrella due to the family's popularity. The Magistracy supports an open society that ensures the personal liberty of all citizens and the right to live their lives as they see fit. So in case you're wondering, there are actually dozens of books that tell a more cohesive story, and these things have been written for like 20 years or something like that, and they're still being written today. In case you're wondering, with the success of this game, 5 new books were made, I think. So yeah. Magistracy. Large periphery state located rimward anti-spinward of Terra just beyond the Free Worlds League. Founded explicitly as a matriarchy, the Magistracy is ruled by a magistrix, a position open only to women, usually held by a member of the founding Centrella family. Independent since fellow Star League, the Magistracy has remained mostly untouched by the succession wars, except by the overall collapse of trade and travel. The Magistracy is famed for its social and cultural freedom, with no consensual behavior forbidden by law or custom. The current ruler of the Magistracy is the Magistrix Kaela Centrella, who harbors a deep grudge against the Inner Sphere and the Free World League in particular. So we'll pull up Rimward Periphery. Actually, they'll be next. They'll be later, so we'll do House Centrella. Ruling Dynasty, the Magistracy of Canopus. Captain Cassandra Centrella of the Free Worlds League military founded the Magistracy in 2530 when she became disillusioned with her superiors and the patriarchy of the Inner Sphere. Taurian Concordat. Mech warriors who hail from the Taurian Concordat tend to be stubborn and aggressive. They can be quick to anger, but they are nonetheless skilled and perceptive combatants. Founded as a constitutional monarchy under the leadership of House Calderon, the Taurian Concordat is the strongest military power of the Rimward Periphery. It has also been one of the oldest surviving realms of human civilization, having been formed long before the creation of the Star League. Taurian citizens enjoy extensive freedoms guaranteed by the Concordat Charter, and take pride in defending those freedoms through compulsory service. The Taurian Concordat has long had an antagonistic relationship with the Inner Sphere, particularly with the Federated Suns. So Taurian Concordat. One of the largest periphery states located rimward of Terra, beyond the Federated Suns. So I want to say rimward is supposed to be like southeast, if you're thinking of the clans as the northmost point. And then you're thinking of space as a 2D plane instead of a 3D one, so there is that. Concordat, founded by and ruled by House Calderon, the Concordat prides itself on independence, freedom, and stability. It's wealthy, well-educated, and well-armed. Taurians defend their independence fiercely against Inner Sphere aggression, particularly by the Federated Sons, and they perceive House Davian's reputation as a protector of liberties and unwarranted and hypocritical. They have a long history of conflict with a much larger successor state. The current ruler of the Concordat is Protector Thomas Calderon. And then House Calderon, they're the dynastic ruling house of Taurus, the Taurian home rules, and the Taurian Concordat. The line is descended from Samantha Calderon, who founded the first colony of Taurus in 2253. Members of House Calderon are considered fair, egalitarian, and pragmatic in their decisions. Rimward Periphery. There's no easy way to characterize mech warriors hailing from the Rimward Periphery. They can be anything from petty thugs to ruthless tacticians to skilled and honorable warriors. The nations and minor noble houses of the Rimward Periphery have long played a role in shaping humanity. The Star League's downfall began in the Periphery, eventually leading to the current tattered state of the disparate star systems on the edge of the known space. Periphery is still the galaxy's frontier, where the great houses of the Inner Sphere play deadly politics. Petty bandit kingdoms thrive, and pirate bands prey on the minor noble houses trying to survive in this hostile environment. So I believe Rimward is where you'll find the Butte-hold pirates. And in case you're wondering, the way Butte is written, it seriously does look like butt-hold pirates. I'd like to say I'm joking, but that actually is a thing in the universe. It's just I'm pretty sure the name is supposed to be pronounced Butte or Butte. It's B-U-T-T-E. Anyway, Rimward. Periphery of space bordering and surrounding the Inner Sphere, the area directly opposite the galactic core known as the Rimward Periphery. Home to major states such as the Magistrate of Canopus, the Taurian Concordat, and the Oregon Colony. Okay, so this is like the big collection of them. Because I want to say those pirates I told you about are over by House Steiner. Deep Periphery. Ah, here we go. Mech warriors that hail from the Deep Periphery are rare, but even rarer is the mech warrior who will admit to such an origin. So this is supposed to be Wolf's Dragoons, I believe? Beyond the outermost edges of the Periphery lie depths of space that remain uncharted and unknown to most of the human civilization. Little is known about these regions, but they are far from uninhabited. The Deep Periphery is littered with abandoned colonies and small outposts, isolated from the rest of humanity. After the fall of the Star League, General Alexander Kerensky led the remnants of the Star League Defense Force in the Deep Periphery, disappearing from the Inner Sphere and from recorded history. So, Kerensky is one of those big names you should know if you're going to stick with the universe and the lore. And the Star League Defense Force is the origin of the clans. Kerensky is their father, in case you're wondering. Born 2700, disappeared 2784. Regent and Protector of Star League and Commanding General of the Star League Defense Force, Kerensky was the highest-ranking military officer of the Inner Sphere. Following his successful conclusion of the Amorous Civil War, Kerensky withdrew from the Inner Sphere with 80% of the SLDF's personnel and assets, never to be seen again. This action left the Inner Sphere defenseless and precipitated the First Succession War. So as for the Star League Defense Force, the SLDF was the largest military force in human history, with over 100 million soldiers serving in 486 divisions at its peak. The SLDF suffered horrific losses, opposing Stefan Amorous in the Amorous Civil War. So in case you're wondering what I'm talking about with the clans, the SLDF went into deep space where they just said, screw the Inner Sphere, you guys can kill each other, we're going off on our own. And they lived there for a while. They colonized a bunch of worlds. They split into 20 different factions, which are the clans themselves. That would be Smoke Jaguar, Jade Falcon, Wolf, Ghost Bear, Hellion, Blood Spirit, and so on. And these clans split into two ideologies. You had the Wardens and the Crusaders. The Wardens are basically, yeah, we're going to sit here, just try to keep humanity alive would be the best way to describe them. And the Crusaders are basically, yeah, let's go back and take over Earth. Seriously. So, the whole clan war thing is when the Crusaders show up and they try to reclaim Earth. And in case you're wondering about position and stuff like this, they are supposed to be 1 year's time away while traveling faster than light. So, in order to actually find them, you have to go way out of your way to reach their homeworlds. And as I said, Wolf's Dragoons, that's supposed to be a scout force from Clan Wolf that came. They posed as mercenaries to perform intelligence and reconnaissance. And as such, they still had that very, very advanced Star League technology at their disposal, so a lot of the Inner Sphere stuff didn't really do well against them. As for where I came from, I'm a Harbinger, so I have to go with Taurian Concordat. If you don't know what that means, well, we'll see if any of those guys will make guest appearances on my channel. You were of noble birth. Okay. Though immigrants to the Oregon Reach, your family soon established on a comfortable presence in a small backwater system on the edge of Oregon space. By the time you were born, your family had become the de facto ruling nobility of the system's only inhabited planet. You were the oldest child, heir to the system, heir to the family's titles, an ancestral battlemech, an old blackjack BJ-1. This is where you met Raju Mastiff Montgomery, a veteran of succession wars whom your parents hired on for a season to train you as a mech warrior. Raju was a strict but capable teacher, and you quickly became a skilled pilot under his tutelage. It was an uneventful life. So I don't know if that blackjack is an Omni-Mech, because I like the two large laser variant. I'm just hoping I don't get the AC-2 variant, unless there's going to be vehicles in here, which I doubt. So anyway, we've seen Oregon Reach, Battlemech, these are your mechs. Enormous armored vehicles, human design, they weigh up to 100 tons. Minimum of 20 tons, below that is considered proto-mech, I believe. They're the most powerful and deadly surface units a military force can field. Battlemechs are classified in various weight classes. Light ranges from 20 to 35, medium from 40 to 55, heavy from 60 to 75, and assault being 80 to 100. Because of their incredible power requirements, many battlemechs generate ferocious amounts of waste heat, making battlemech cockpits sweltering hot, and sometimes threatening to cause a complete system shutdown. So I know the heat generation system is different in this compared to the board game. As such, that's one of my growing pains. As for the blackjack, damn it, it is the AC-2 one. The blackjack BJ-1 is equipped for both long and close-range engagements. A pair of AC-2s is backed by 4 medium lasers, lending the mech to a powerful alpha strike, while jump jets enable the mech to move around high ground at a moment's notice. So if you don't know what AC-2 is, that's autocannon 2. Autocannon is basically like a rifle. I guess that'd be the best way to describe it. LBX would be the shotgun equivalent. AC-2 is the smallest one. It has the most range, but the bullets literally only do 2 damage each. They are extremely good at picking off tanks and aircraft, but not so much for mechs unless you get really lucky. So I am not looking forward to that. As for Raju Montgomery here, battle-scarred mech warrior with nearly 40 years of combat experience. In addition to mercenary work, Mastiff has served as Master of Arms for a number of noble houses, trained their scions in the arts of war. The ladies Camilla Arano and Victoria Espinosa have benefited from his training. So here we have our various bonuses. So turning 16, we were exiled? You were sentenced to life in exile. You stole away with the family's blackjack and set off to find a new life to call your own. You get +1 to gunnery, +1 to tactics. You struck out on your own. You get +1 piloting, +1 tactics. Couldn't stand the pampered life of nobility. Family went bankrupt, +1 tactic, +1 guts. Parents took their lives, you had nothing but the blackjack left. Family died in an accident, +1 piloting, +1 guts. They died in a freak jump ship accident. I actually should highlight some of these terms. There's nothing good there. Okay, so jump ship's the first one. This is your transport ship, basically. Space-going vessels capable of faster-than-light travel using Kearney Fuchida drives instantaneously jump from one planetary system to another. 95% of the mass to the KF drive and a solar energy collecting system to power it, leaving little room for conventional engines. They're generally only seen at jump points beyond the gravitational proximity limit. Commercial stellar involves riding a dropship from planet to jump point, docking to jump ship for another transport, and so on. So in case you're wondering what they mean, so this thing will make its jump, and then it has to sit for 2 weeks while it recharges. Once it recharges, it charges off of solar power, by the way, then it jumps again, and so on. In order to reach the clan homeworlds, you have to do this for a full year. So hopefully that tells you how far away those things are in terms of space. So this gives you piloting and guts. Family is betrayed gives you gunnery and guts. Power, seed of power destroyed, you defeat your betrayers, but you're the sole surviving member of your house. So you may set off to make a new life. So gunnery, is this accuracy or what exactly? Chance to hit range weapons, higher skills, effective counter and evasion. Guts gives you maximum health of mech warriors, reduces penalty from weapon recoil, increases the threshold of heat. So that's probably the best one from the look of it. For piloting, this is less likely to get knocked over, I think. Melee hits are more likely to happen. Yes, you can punch, kick, and stuff. There are maces, axes, and swords that you can wield. Increase the threshold of stability, triggers unsteady. Piloting works differently here than in the actual board game, where piloting is mainly for melee hits, and just make sure you stay standing after taking a bunch of damage. Family Went Bankrupt gives you tactics. Effectiveness of call and shot opportunities, reduces penalty for indirect fire. Ooh. That's actually very good if you're going to be wielding AC-2s. Actually, AC-2s can't indirectly fire, can they? It's only LRMs and SRMs, I think, that could. Not sure. So, piloting tactics, this is the one that I wanted to take anyway. So, if you know me long enough, you know it's only a matter of time before I get kicked out of some place. And if I move fast enough, it's before I get tarred and feathered. I don't know, and you fell into the life of... Coalition Soldier? So, Koromodir, that's the center of the government. Koromodir 6 is the vast Taurian fortress. Frontier Pirate. Unruly but effective crew. Stay supply of poorly defended merchant caravans, supply depots to prey upon. Successful piracy is mostly about being in the right place at the right time. Gladiator gives you +1. That's fun. So Solaris 7 is the dueling arena. Intersphere Mercenary gives you tactics. This one gives you tactics. Freelancer. Merchant Guard. Blah. That one's no fun. So we'll go with Freelancer. That'll give me more tactics. Like, if I can swap out to a different mech, that wouldn't be bad, but... You know what, we'll do this Dark Hero style. We'll go Pirate. 2 years later, you cross paths with Raji Montgomery once again. After years of roaming the frontier, your outfit's luck eventually ran out, landing you in an Oregon Coalition prison. Hearing of your bad fortune, Raju dragged you out of jail, giving you a second chance under his mentorship. After heavy rehabilitation, you proved your worth and were conducted into the House Arano Royal Guard. Find yourself reunited with your old mentor, preparing your ancestral blackjack for guard duty on the coronation day of Lady Camilla Arano. We haven't seen her name in this text, but we've seen it before. Brave, idealistic, and determined, the Lady Camilla Arano is the daughter of the late High Lord Tamati Arano II, due to inherit the throne of the Oregon Coalition. Mech Warrior call sign. Well, for one we know, hero, not herp, hero. Light. Whoa, I want to see that day. Okay. So are there any here that actually do look kind of like me? And the answer is looking like no. We'll go with this dude. Now my Mech Warrior call sign. This is a tough one. I think when in doubt, I may as well revert to being that guy. Oh, you can customize this song? Oh, hell no, it's fine as is. Nope, I'm good. So here's my stats. Gunnery 3, Piloting 2, Tactics 3, Guts 3. Good enough. So after half an hour, we are finally in! A Mech Warrior's Path unlocked. The High Lord Tamati Arano II is dead. The Oregon Reach is left in an uncertain crossroad. Once prosperous, is now a kingdom in decline, surrounded by powerful neighbors. Lord Santiago Espinosa, brother-in-law to the late High Lord, is convinced that the slow-moving council of founding houses must be dissolved. His proposed directive would conscript their house guard and centralize power under a single throne. However, the High Lord's heir, the noble Lady Camilla Mia Arano is determined to rebuild the Reach without transforming into an authoritarian state. She refuses to enact her own directive and has rebuked his vehement pleas to reconsider. On the morning of Lady Arano's ascension to the throne, her loyal captain of the guard, Raja Montgomery, makes preparations to escort her to the coronation procession that awaits in Concordia City. Coronation Day, Arano Summer Palace, 8:53 local time. So one thing to keep in mind about planets like this is they may not actually have 24-hour days. Our day is 24 hours because that's how long it takes the Earth to rotate. The 21st Centurion Lancers mutinied against House Lau over unpaid wages in 2875. They turned mercenaries, seized a Lau jump ship as payment. And we can't read all those because they move too fast. Long-range missiles can fire over objectives, those are LRMs, but you need line of sight. Thing is, the enemy can do that to you too, so pay attention. That's why light mechs can serve as spotters. Wow. Okay, there we go. So a little disappointed that kicked my screensaver in. WASD. Q or E to rotate camera. Okay, that guy. I had the Espinosa refit yards. Rush the repairs on your Blackjack. Looks like it's all in one piece, but we should run some diagnostics on it just to be sure. Standard field tests, you know the drill. More importantly, though, I want to tell you about the job I brought you out here to do. Now, do me a favor and get that battle mech moving. Let's see if there are any kinks in the actuators. Actuators being joints, pretty much. Click on a mech warrior's port chart, push tab, cycle between the units.
I'll come right out and say it, kid. I wasn't completely honest with you the other day. There's gonna be more to this job than escort duty.
Sublime. So in the bottom left corner... Okay, I can't move the mouse. So this is my rear plating on my armor. This is the rear left, the rear right, and then the rear center. These are... Yeah, I had that right. So this actually tells you what's located where. I have a medium laser in my left torso. I have heat sinks. Heat sinks are what you use to basically absorb heat. Your weapons have heat generation as they fire. Lasers are worse than the autocannons, but the autocannons do have ammo. So that's the trade-off between them. Missiles are much like autocannons. So anyway, arms, head, center torso, legs, so on. This tells you the weight class. The Blackjack weighs 45 tons, if I remember correctly. I have 4 points in jump jets. I move 464, but I don't know how that translates into this exactly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Or is that... Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so that's going to be a run. So in terms of movement... Gain evasive charges based on the distance, +2 difficulty, hit this unit within pretty evasive charge, may use to initiate melee attack, because I think some of these don't let you melee. And then over here are my weapons. I have 4 medium lasers, 2 AC2s, a melee, and DFA stands for death from above. That's when you literally jump on them. This is a very, very high-risk move. Do not take it lightly, because if you miss, you take a crapload of damage. You'll sometimes even break your legs off, depending on what exactly you're jumping in. As for the melee, this is usually a punch or a kick. They tell you it doesn't use any heat. This does because you need jump jets to use it. Medium lasers, they'd say 10 heat here, but if I remember correctly... Let's see. So if we divide those by 5, we get 2 and 5. That might actually be how that works, because I thought the medium laser was 3 heat, 5 damage. On tabletop here it's 10 heat, 25 damage. AC2 is 5 heat, wow. But does 25 damage. You can see I have 25 bullets for it. I don't know if this is 25 for each of them or 25 cumulative. I imagine it'd have to be each if this AC2 is going to be any good. Just be aware in tabletop Battletech, the game usually only lasts a few rounds, so actually 10 bullets will do wonders. You only need more if you're actually playing campaigns. Anyway, without further ado... brought you here because there's something wrong in the capital. It's been too quiet since High Lord Tamati's funeral, and I'm worried about Lady Camilla's safety during her coronation procession. Anyway, it looks like your actuators check out. Let's conduct a weapons test. Target one of those burnt-out old urban mechs and open fire.
Like I was saying, I can't prove anything. But my gut tells me something's off. And a warrior trusts their instincts.
So urban mech's a 30-ton light mech. It usually has like an AC-10, maybe a medium laser. Since it's a light mech, it doesn't have as much room for weaponry. So right here they give you the chance of hitting the different things. Both are 95. These things are very lightly armored. 1 point of armor on this torso. One here, one internal structure, that's what the S stands for, I believe. Wow. Now, for rules of this playthrough, if I get a turn 1 headshot or if I get turn 1 headshot, I'm probably going to just restart, because some of you may have trouble with the actual strategy, and you should be relying on the getting lucky and killing something at full health on turn 1. It is something that happens, it's just I'm going to try to avoid it here where possible. So this is guarded, takes 50% damage from 50% reduced damage from range attacks to the front and side, does not stack with cover, countered by melee attack. Entrenched, 50% stability from attacks. When you take so much damage, you have to make a stability roll to see if you still stand or if you got knocked over. Trained target, easier to hit than enemy units on the field. So I believe here you're supposed to check what all you're going to fire. Yeah, so you can check or uncheck it. Now, unfortunately, I don't know how much heat I have. Like, I have the heat sinks, but I don't know what that actually translates to because I'm used to tabletop. But anyway, we'll just go ahead and full-blown alpha strike this.
All weapons committed. Enemy mech destroyed.
Good shot. Your guns are in working order, at least. Are there tanks in this game? I've been training Lady Arano since she was 14 years old. She can be naive at times and proud, but I have no doubt she'll be a just and effective ruler. It's on us to see her safely to Concordat City. It'll rest easier when she's in the capital with her cousin Victoria by her side. Lady Victoria. Well, she's only been training under me for a single season, but she's already shaped herself into one of the strongest mech warriors I've ever seen. Reminds me a lot of you, truth be told. Anyway, we should run a check on your targeting computer. You see that drone over there, the one moving through the tree line? Put some hurt on it for me. And then when it turns, take it out with a rear angle shot. After it's down, we'll keep moving.
Camilla's like a daughter to me. And her late father, High Lord Tamati, was a good friend.
So we're skipping back to the firing phase. This is the heat that carried over from the previous turn. This is when you reach the danger zone. So generally for tanks, this is where your AC2 really shines. So the way tanks work is they have their 4 sides and sometimes a turret. Not every tank has this. The turret means that this can turn, as the name implies, and any weapons here can fire on any facing. There are some tanks that only have front-mounted or rear-mounted weapons. Those can only hit you when you are, well, when those are facing you, as the name implies. So anyway, let's see what these are. So the forest reduces movement and spine distance, but also provides coverage. Does not stack with guarded, has the cover, trained target, and weak against melee. Melee attacks do double damage to vehicles. Good to know. So once again, we'll go ahead and
All
alpha
weapons
this.
committed.
So we destroyed the armor.
Victoria pulls no punches, but she's been a loyal companion to Camilla since they were kids. Aside from you, there's no one I'd rather have by my side in a fight.
So they want me to keep shooting at this. So to alleviate heat, I'm going to turn off 2 lasers, and you'll see that I'm actually going to cool off some by doing it this way. Anyway, the right side has had its armor completely removed. You can see 75 points, 075, then 22 points of internal structure that have yet to be hit. The rear plating is almost always the weakest part on tanks, so you want to aim for that when given the opportunity. That's why I'm not too eager, I'm not too worried about firing 2 less lasers. This will probably finish it off. It only has 1 point of internal structure there. Yeah, all of its internal structure's on the other sides. So,
Targeting
fire.
rear armor. Enemy unit destroyed.
Nice shot. Now, I don't know how familiar you are with Oregon politics, but the Reach was badly shaken by High Lord Tamati's death. It needs a smooth transition of power, and Kamea belongs on that Cormoran throne. Go ahead and fire up your jump jets, kid. I want to see you descend the cliff face. Aim for that patch of ground near the edge of the lake. So here's jump. We can move 4 spaces because we have 4 jump jets. This will generate heat, keep in mind. So if you're having problems managing your heat, be careful with your jump jets. Now here you want to choose which way you're facing, because you can turn any way in midair. So we want to face those because we don't know if they're going to shoot at us and such.
Enemy detected.
Yeah, I was afraid
So I
of
took
that.
structure damage
Jump
for some
jets
reason.
build a lot of heat, and that was more than your engine could handle. Head on into that water. We need to get you cooled off.
Okay, so they're just using the heat as an excuse for structure damage. In the tabletop version, you didn't actually take damage from heat. What would happen is you would become less accurate, you'd slow down, and your mech could shut down until you cool off. So just be aware that was a thing. And then you could cool off in the water. Cold regions like Arctic tundras and stuff would make it easier for you to cool down, while conversely, volcanic planets would be very, very difficult to stay cool in. And then once again, you can change your facing to a certain degree, but there are limits when you're walking. So we'll do it that way. Warning, plasma leak detected, jump jet malfunction, jump jet system damage, system inoperable until repaired. Oh, for the love of all the gods! This is what I get for insisting on a rush job. Not that I had much of a choice. The Espinosa refit yards are backlogged like you wouldn't believe. Looked like they were trying to process every single Royal Guard mech in time for the coronation. There isn't any time to get your jets replaced. We're gonna have to make do without them. Go ahead and take that mech down with a melee attack. I want to be sure nothing else is gonna break down your blackjack before we take it on to Cormoran Road. So click the melee targeting reticle on the enemy, or press V to cycle melee targets and click attack. So we need to run up to it. This is as close as I can get, I think. Generally, you want to hit mechs from behind. It's just, while we're in training, we gotta do what we gotta do. Okay, so you actually have to push V in order to do this. Melee attack uses Paladin skill to hit, ignores evasive, hit removes guarded, deals damage and stability damage. So Marsh, unit gains 50% stability damage reduction from all attacks. It's guarded, countered by melee. Entrenched, reduced damage from all attacks. And training target. So yeah, we'll melee it. We can't do death from above because supposedly our jump jets are broken.
Engaging physical attack.
Good hit. At least that's solid. Alright, one last test. I want you to take your blackjack up to a sprint and evade my
Push
attack.
that engine, kid. If something goes wrong today, I want to know that your mech can maneuver.
Further you move, the more evasive charges you gain. Each evasive charge makes you more difficult to hit. So with sprint, you move further, you gain evasive charges, plus difficulty to hit, cannot sprint if unsteady or if a leg is destroyed. So they don't tell you which of these is you can't shoot. Because I believe sprinting was actually like a level 2 rule, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. So the further you run, the less you can turn. Just be aware of that. Oops. -1 evasion. Congratulations, that guy. Your blackjack's as combat ready as it can be, given the circumstances. For what it's worth, I hope that my suspicions turn to be unfounded. And we end the day having a good laugh about what a paranoidal man I've become. But if not, I know you'll be ready. Alright, it's time to move out. Lady Urano is waiting for us at the
An
mech bay.
impressive display, Sir Raju. Of course, this mech warrior was a student of yours. I'd expect them to know their way around a cockpit.
So we actually did have to walk the rest of the way, I guess. That guy. Allow me to introduce Kamea Arano, the soon-to-be High Lady of the Oregon Coalition, as Lady Victoria on this channel. For the time being, my father has summoned me to the Picton docks. I have a fleet inspection and a tour of the family refit yards to preside over for the coronation. Behold, the responsibilities of a noble daughter, a fount of tedium that never runs dry. I know the feeling, cousin. By this time tomorrow I'll be responsible for the entire Reach. Give my best to your father, and don't be late for the tourney. The gambling den's already taking bets on how long it'll take me to cripple that customized monstrosity pilot. Bold words, cousin, but the only victory they'll be celebrating is mine. You may be ascending the throne today, but my Kaga is more than a match for that family heirloom that you call a Battletech, and in the arena I can reign supreme. We'll see, cousin, we'll see. At any rate, I'll see you at the tourney grounds. Suraju, I'm ready to go when you are. Overland along the Cormorant Road, as is the Amano tradition. Aye, Kamea. We'll get you there in one piece. That guy falling behind me. And remember what I told you.
Mission successful.
We'd live to suck another day. Facing matters. You want to keep your armored sections towards the enemy. Hide your least damaged areas.
I remember the Oregon Reach of old, the time of the Great Expansion. I was just a boy then. Proudly we went forth, bringing the light of our coalition to so many systems. And for what? To see our great kingdom slowly waste away? Year after year, the Council deliberates while our economy falters. And the wolves bay at every door, while covetous neighbors plot against us. Well, I say, it can go no further. We are here today because if Lady Arano will not act, someone must. I know what I'm asking of you. You will face former comrades, or even loved ones, on the battlefield. I take up arms against my own niece. But remember, today we sacrifice so that tomorrow we can return our kingdom to its proper glory, to its proper strength. So should you fall tonight, know that you did so as true heroes of the Reach. To your stations, for the Directorate!
Those were dropships, by the way. Coronation Day, Cordia City outskirts, 1322 local time. So right there's the logic to light mechs. They move really, really far, and they are a pain to hit, and they're generally spotters, or they'll try to aim for weak spots to cripple something. Like, one of the things that'll happen is one unit will get worked over by everything focusing it, and then something will run around and try to shoot it in the back or its weak spot. So manage your heat by not being reckless with your weapons. That's one of those important things that this Blackjack does demonstrate, but like I said, I prefer the double large laser, double medium laser variant, if I remember correctly. I think it's the DB variant or something like that. It'd be cool if I can actually swap out the AC-2s, but we'll see. And like I said, AC-2s are actually going to be good if you're going to be dealing with tanks and aircraft. Hajime.
Command interface initiated.
I'm going to miss this, Raju. The clarity of purpose that I feel in the cockpit of a battle mech. The simplicity of it. But there they are, just up ahead. The city gates and my future all laid out before me. Wait, what's that smoke? A guard post. One of the small ones that dot the roads leading to the capital. But the emergency band's been quiet all morning. I haven't heard anything about any fire.
This is damned odd. And I don't like it. Kid, keep your head on a swivel and be ready for anything.
Oh my god, she has a Kintaro? Actually, that's the decent Kintaro. No, wait, that's him. What is he piloting? A Centurion? That's respectable. Looks like the Centurion I like, too. I need to steal his mech.
Tell me what you need.
As for her with her this thing... I've used these before. They heat up like a toaster oven. So these are all medium mechs, in case you're wondering.
Talk to me.
So force reduces movement, spotting distance, provides cover. Like, right now I kind of wish I had my jump jets because I jump to higher ground and try to spot. With my AC-2s I can shoot from a very long distance away, but... looks like they're giving us our enemies already. Ooh, Shadowhawk. Aw man, they'll let you see it. So the Panther is a light mech, you can see that it's much smaller than the others. Yeah, I'll just sprint. This is one of the early missions. What you do doesn't matter as much. So as for the Centurion, this actually moves 5 spaces, I believe. It's a 585 mech, but I'm not 100% sure on that. The Kintaro should be a 585. So when I used it last time, keep in mind, some sort of explosion. Looks recent too. Do you think it was accident? No chance. You see those scorch marks on the rubble? That's laser fire. We need to get you out of your command right now. Yes, I think you're right. There's a patrol of Royal Guard mechs up ahead. We should go to them.
Whatever's happening here,
Okay,
I
those
won't
are allies.
let it derail your coronation. Your people need you.
Thank you, Raju. I will prove myself worthy of the faith you've placed in me.
Of that, I have no doubt.
This thing's packing a lot of missiles, by the way. Are they behind us? So I want to go first just because, like I said, I have the longer range weapons. I'm really tempted to try to go this way just so I can try to snipe. The way I'd actually reach them is down this path. And without my jump jets, I don't want to go on the low ground there. So will this reveal anyone? Let's see if I can try to sneak by.
Copy that. Roger.
And then I'm the slow one, so I do need to pay attention to my moves.
I'm on the move.
Can I not get through here?
Reading you loud and clear.
Anyone could... Can I zoom in on that? Actually, I might not be able to.
How can I help? Aye, aye.
I'll do what you ask.
Aha, so I can take this way. Hail, Mastiff. Hail, Lady Arano. We were preparing for Lady Arano's coronation parade when we got word of a disturbance along the Cormoran Road. A guard post behind us was attacked. Siraju found evidence of laser fire. Is the road behind you clear? All the way to the southern gate. Lead the way, Siraju. We'll fall in behind you and guard your 6. Tell me something, guardsman. If the road is clear, why is your Battletech damaged? Our mech's overdue for maintenance, but that isn't important right now. We need to worry about Lady Arano's safety. Now, my lady, if you'll come with us. No, you're lying to us. It's my coronation day. No mech tech would have sent you out for parade duty in that condition. I'm your sovereign, sir. You will tell me what happened here. Damn it, girl, we don't have time for this. Take them. Kill the old man and the mech warrior, but take Lady Arano alive.
Fall back, Kamea. Get behind us.
You didn't train me to cower, Raju. You trained me to fight.
Safeties disengaged.
I've got your back.
So they said to reserve?
I'm moving.
You can only walk when moving backwards, in case you're wondering. That's cover forest. If I choose the other one, I'm more likely to hit the Shadowhawk, and we can actually see its loadout here. SRM-2 means it fires 2 short-range missiles. AC-5 is the next highest one above AC-2. And then medium laser should be self-explanatory. So this one has been chewed up quite a bit. I'm going to aim for this guy to try to cripple him and maybe take out something important. Medium lasers aren't as likely to hit, but the AC-10 and LRM-10 can definitely do some work. I should also mention about these missiles. LRM-10 fires 10 missiles, and these are how many missiles total. So when I fire this, I'll have 230 left.
All weapons are go.
So now it's more likely to
Punch
overheat.
right through his armor.
I was hoping to destroy a weapon.
I'm losing armor.
I noticed.
I'm listening.
So if you notice those arcs, that tells you that she uses indirect fire if she makes this move. She has an LRM-5, which is our best bet. So we'll go ahead and do our attack if possible. So the only thing I can fire is the LRM. Let's turn... No, cancel that. Okay, there we go. Panther I'm more likely to hit. So this thing's a little chewed up, maybe we'll get lucky. Weak. Now I have nothing that will fire indirectly, so I need to move in a way that I can shoot with my autocannons. I guess I don't have line of sight.
Got my attention.
So he's too close for the LRM to be an effective weapon anymore, but I can choose not to fire that and I don't generate as much heat. As for his mech, it's still in fairly good condition. I don't know how much repairs we get between the fights. I'm gonna gamble. We're just gonna shoot since this is an early mission. Way to miss, dude. So it should be the light mech that moves first.
Lucky bastard. That was a solid hit.
Yes, I hear you.
I want to cripple this Phoenix Hawk before it can do something bad. So notice how much heat this is going to generate. She's almost halfway to the danger. Well, she's more than halfway to the danger zone. But it's going to be worth it just to cripple this thing so it doesn't have as many weapons to cripple the So right there, we destroy the left arm, we destroy the AC-5.
If you had any sense, you'd retreat.
'Tis but a scratch unlocked. So it's trying to use indirect fire now. I can move here and go for the Panther. And there's no reason for me not to have
All
a fight here.
weapons committed.
So we just peeled its armor off. We didn't do anything worthwhile.
Talk to me.
So now if we kill the spotter, that thing has to come out from cover. Like, I'm a little tempted to run over and kick it, but I don't want to move. So, yeah, this is good. We'll still heat up a little bit, but we have a much higher threshold here. And this thing's pretty much out of armor. It only this thing has a large laser? What?
Here
Wow.
we go.
Side torso destroyed, pilot injury. It's just a flesh wound unlocked. Sad part is, since it's still intact, it can still spot, and it's going to do a melee. I can't turn the camera. It missed. Usually when you miss a kick, you have to do a piloting skill roll to see if you still stay standing. Now, I want to move here because I can, well, I can shoot it. We're not going to fire the AC-2s here because it's too close, but we can fire the other stuff.
Engaging target.
Time to die.
Nice job, kid. One fewer hostile on the board.
So he can't see anymore. He has to actually get line of sight himself and shoot. So he destroyed all the armor on one section of the Centurion.
That shot went internal.
Standing by.
Yeah, now that I know what I know now, I would have taken the road. It would have been a lot faster and safer and stuff. So if I Alpha Strike, I'm going to overheat. As badly banged up as that thing is, I think I can peel back on that. I'm going to hold off on one of the medium lasers, because the SRMs are much, much more dangerous.
I'll make it happen.
Good hit.
Ammo explosion, he's dead.
Battle mech eliminated.
Ammo explosions are fatal. Command, can you hear me? Alexander, we're just attacked. The Royal Guard, my own guardsmen, tried to take me prisoner. It's happening here too. The Royal Guard are killing one another in the halls. Lord Carosa's house guard has just got gunned down in front of me, turning pavilions to slaughterhouse. I won't let these seditionists, whoever they are, steal my birthright. We need to rally every loyalist we can find to make a push on the capital. I'll take the throne by force if I must. Go to Retua Township to the armory. Your soldiers use it as a rallying point. I heard Lord Decimus send his house guard there a few minutes ago. Someone's here. I have to move. Rally what forces you can. Meet me at the turning grounds. Be safe. You heard of Mastiff? Rotorua Township. We'll go there, rally our fighters, and march on the southern gate with an army at our back. Maya, I know that you and Lord Madeira are friends, but you can't take what he told you on faith. Right now, we don't know who we can trust. In this case, we do. Alexander has been my closest friend and confidant for as long as I can remember. His loyalty is beyond question. I trust him with my life. And yours. Now take me to the armory. As you command, my lady.
Traitors in the guard. And I fear this is only the beginning. Follow me. Keep close and remember your training. Things are likely to get ugly between here and there. Fall in behind me.
So for some reason the recording just cut out. You missed him walking. I didn't see anything else here, but the good news is this little reprieve will give me time to cool down.
Acknowledged. I'm moving.
So this is the way we're supposed to go. Ooh, it's one of his torsos that's lit up. That's not good. And that has LRM ammo in it, so he could die if that gets hit. Be nice, like there's a road there, so that makes me want to think that we could take that. I'm gonna try.
Heads up. We've got company.
A vehicle, and a vehicle. They're all light vehicles. So this is where I need to move because I'm the anti-vehicle guy. And then by me moving out of the way, she can move herself. Look at all that smoke, man.
Orders?
So if I have him sprint... I'm not expecting to get vision here just yet.
We've got company.
Now the next one to move is going to be me. And that will give me line of sight, which is great. It's a galleon. This is a little laser ship. I want to say it's an hovercraft, but I'm not 100% sure. So they say the AC-2 is not a very reliable shot. I'm going to fire one. Oh, those are the only things I have, so I may as well fire them then. You never know when you'll get lucky.
Engaging target. Enemy unit destroyed.
Yeah. That's the 25-tonner.
You have my attention.
I would like to use her for indirect fire, but I don't think I'm going to get the option. No, we don't have clear line of sight on it. So let's brace. That's another 35-tonner. Ooh, a striker! That's a nasty little sucker. Those are long-range missiles coming at me. That should be packing an SRM-6 and an LRM-10 unless there are variants of it I don't know about.
You've got my attention.
I've used those all the time in the past, in case you're wondering.
Roger.
Yep. So the LRM's the only thing I can hit. It's a awkward shot because it's so close. But I'm gonna roll the dice.
Say goodbye.
A Scorpion that packs an AC-5 and one sub-weapon. And what the sub-weapon is depends on what type of Scorpion it is. The Striker is the one I'm worried about, in case you're wondering. I was hoping I could get to cover. And you know what? Let's...
Full throttle.
Ah, so if you sprint, you don't get to shoot.
Yes, I hear you.
That sucks, man. I'll park the Kintaro here and fire the LRM indirectly. I was hoping to cripple that thing before it could become a problem, but I'm not gonna be that lucky. Another Striker. Sublime! Damn, that just tore up my left side.
Talk to me. Confirmed.
This is a very likely shot. And since we're hitting it from the flank, the armor is much lower than the front generally. This one's so badly shot up there's not actually a difference.
Roger that.
It's a miracle that thing is still alive. It's packing SRMs, I think. MGs? Seriously? Well, I guess that's an anti-infantry unit. So I would like to hit this one. Yeah.
All
Alpha.
weapons committed. Enemy unit destroyed.
Reading you loud and clear.
Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna run over and kick it. I shouldn't. But what we can do is we can walk up to it and point blank it with the SRMs.
Sounds good. I'm moving.
So turn this off because it's not likely to hit, and I can reactivate this to make sure this sucker dies. Light her up.
Engaging hostiles. Flagged a hostile vehicle.
And then there was one.
Is that your best shot?
Orders?
Now
Roger
I should
that.
have line of sight on it. Or something else here. Kamea, do you read me? It's Espinosa, your uncle. Do you hear me? House Espinosa is usurping the throne. Can't be, my uncle. Victoria. Kamea, I just watched an Espinosa battlemech plow through an alley full of civilians. This is happening, and it's happening now. Your loyals have fallen back to the Market District. That's where they're making their stand. What's left of the Royal Guard are doing their best, but there's something wrong with their battlemechs. Wait, what's that sound? Oh, gods.
Alexander!
Just for that, I'm killing the Striker. Firing Alpha.
Damn you for making me do that, son. Damn you. Never stood a chance.
It's over, Kamea. Your ascendancy, the Arano legacy, all of it. Victoria, what have you done? You know, Kamea, for years I loved you like a sister. But then my father helped me see it. Your family's complacency. What it's done to the Reach. Our nation dwindles like a dying star, and House Arano is to blame. My father offered you a path to glory. I'd have fought under your banner proudly, served as your strong right hand. It was like a knife in my heart when you turned him away. Damn it, Victoria, I taught you better than this. You taught me lies. Kamea, for the love that I once bore you, I'm going to give you a chance to surrender. I'll even spare the old man and his mech warrior if you stand down now. I don't want to see you hurt, but you cannot be allowed to rule. I'll see you hang for this, Victoria. You and your father both. Do you hear me? You are traitors to the Reach, and I will fight you to the last. Then you truly are a fool. I'll spare you in spite of yourself, but you've cost your royal escort their lives.
Attention, all Espinosa forces. This is Lady Victoria Espinosa. Lady Arano is to be apprehended and taken alive by my command. Fail to follow these instructions, and you will have me to deal with.
So, that looks like a catapult? No, it's a cicada. That's a light mech. Some of them carry a PPC, but I don't think that's one of them. A 30-tonner, that could be an urban mech, a locust. Why are they sending these light things after me?
Talk to me.
So I'm trying to get cover here.
Affirmative.
Ooh, a spider. These things are really mobile, but they're really, really fragile. This one's packing 2 medium lasers. The cicada has a medium and a small. The cicada moves 711 if I remember correctly, but the spider is 812. That sucker can fly. And the locust, this is a 6-9, I believe. That one's going to have a little bit of trouble, but its priority number is 4, I want to say. The cicada is 3. The one behind it, man. Okay, so we're giving the cicada priority, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. We'll go ahead and do another alpha. We may get lucky and cripple something.
Giving
We
him
shouldn't rely on
everything
that,
I've
though.
got.
Oh my god, we destroyed its leg on the first turn. Pilot injured. So it can still stand, but it can't run anymore. Yeah, they get back-to-back turns because they have light mechs. Looks like they missed.
The bastard breached my armor.
Maybe not.
Tell me what you need.
For her, I'm okay with her
Copy
being
that.
in the open. So if I only fire the SRMs, which are a little reckless, I'm gonna roll the dice.
I'll do what you ask.
Head hit, pilot injured. I don't know what all injuries entail in this game. I can hit the prone mech, but if I go here I can start sniping. So that's a 55%. 45, we'll go for the more likely of the two.
Engaging target.
It succeeded in standing up. The fact that I can still move is kind of crappy.
punch through my defenses.
Incoming transmission.
Attention, citizens of Coromadir 6. This is Lord Santiago Espinosa. With the unanimous support of the founding houses, I have assumed control of the Oregon Coalition. For your own protection, I urge you to remain calm and stay indoors until otherwise instructed. All hostile units, stand down, and you have my oath that you will not be harmed. Resist, and you will be fired upon.
He's in a very undesirable position.
My father placed his faith in that man. I gave him my trust. He was family.
That locust shouldn't really be moving that far. Okay, aim for this. I'm gonna hold back on one of these just in case I have to alpha strike something that comes too close. Hoping I lost a weapon in that.
My damned armor's busted.
That was awkward. So she needs to go first. Stick to cover when possible. So you can see it lost an SRM. This thing's not as dangerous as the spider right now. And the spider's lit up on its left side, so any damage I deal here will be very, very influential. Once again, we're going to stick to the SRMs. I'm going to have to take a turn off to cool in a second.
Locked in on the target.
Center torso destroyed. There goes the mech.
Hostile unit down. That was a glancing blow.
Here. Wow. Okay, so we're gonna leave the locust alone and go for the sure bet on the cicada. We'll alpha strike it. It should die.
Committed. Enemy mech destroyed.
Alpha striker unlocked.
You've got my attention. Follow my lead.
Say the wrong button. Okay. So the LRM's not really that effective at close range, but everything else I have is. Good night.
Damn you for making.
Kamea, do you read me? Alexander, thank the gods. I thought I lost you when the bombs fell. You very nearly did. Kamea, the city is lost. We have to get off this planet, and we need to do it now. I can't abandon Coromadir. This is my home, my birthright. The battle's over, Kamea. Lord Madeira has the right of it. It's time for you to run. Escape from this madness and live to restore the Coalition another day. Yeah, you're right. My uncle is won. The Reach is his. We'll mourn for it later, the both of us. For now, you need to move. I have a dropship waiting at Shepherd's Pass. I'm on my way there right now. Hurry and meet me there, please. We're on our way.
You get to that ship, Alexander. I mean it. I will not lose you and my throne on the same day.
Another Scorpion.
I'm being flanked.
So the great news is... Let's see, I can't actually hit the Scorpion from here, so I'm gonna just go ahead and full-blown sprint. My back at this point should be more heavily armored than my front, so it's shooting there, no effect. Did not think the first mission would take this long, though.
Standing by.
This time I have an indirect shot, so I'm gonna try to take it, because you can sometimes get really lucky on those. Plus, it should give me a chance to cool down. So, uncheck these. Fire.
I'm on it.
There. 35-ton vehicle, probably another striker. Yeah, it is.
Orders?
So do I have anything left in my rear center? No, I don't.
Copy that.
Gonna turn off one of the medium lasers for the LRM-10. Actually, if I Alpha Strike... It's a gamble, but I think it's worth it.
Affirmative. You were brave, I'll give you that much. You'll have to do better than that, whelp.
When you lose a torso, you lose the arm too, in case you're wondering. So he got injured there. My AC-2s are not going to be as effective at short range, but I have the lasers to fall back on. You can see what I mean here.
Engaging target. Enemy unit destroyed.
You have my attention. I'll make it happen.
You've got my attention.
So you can see my LRM-10 is gone, but luckily it got destroyed before it could actually have the ammo detonate, so he survives.
I am moving in.
What the hell is this? I actually need her to move
I'm
next.
listening.
I don't know if those turrets are my friends or not. Light lasers generally only have a very, very short range. They were 1, 2, 3 in the classic board game, tabletop. I don't know what they're like here, though. This is your last chance, cousin. Don't make me order your debts. Do whatever you must, betrayer. A headstrong fool to the end. Damn you for this. Captain Houst, destroy them. Mastiff, my cousin, all of them. Leave no survivors.
As you command, my lady.
Ooh, a Wolverine, so we finally have a medium mech here. Why will it not let me shoot him? Do I not have line of sight of him, or what? They only let me brace here, I don't know why. Okay, I'm up. Your sniper is here. They have 2 medium lasers. That sucks, man. They both do. What's the Wolverine packing? AC5, that's a tad annoying.
All weapons committed.
Gonna fall back with him.
Talk to me. Moving out.
I'm also trying to turn my right side in case you're wondering, since that's the only spot that still has armor. Yeah, I'm cool firing these. So he's more likely to overheat now.
Take that as a lesson. Armor breach. Internal damage.
Damage minimal.
When you do a multi-target thing, there's usually an accuracy penalty in tabletop. And he's going for all 3 of us simultaneously. So I'd say he has guts,
You have my attention.
but not brains.
I'm moving out.
Uncheck the LRM. And I've cooled off, buddy, which is bad news for you, because here comes a pseudo-alpha. My goodness. Usually when your ammo
Reporting a
explodes,
critical strike.
it'd be fatal. But I don't know why he survived that. They must have changed the rules for this. So... let's go here. I'll just keep pushing up. It still has its SRM and its medium laser, which is really annoying. I'm gonna uncheck this laser because it's not as accurate. That way I don't heat up as much, and I have more for the turrets when I'm ready to take them on. Dead.
Enemy mech destroyed.
I'm gonna fall back with her because I don't want to tank more than I have to.
Orders.
We're gonna leave him where he is. Yeah, we're outside of medium laser range, so let's just poke at it.
Target confirmed.
Yes, I hear you.
Just take a few steps back, please. I know the clans frown upon this, but I'm not a clanner. So I'm going to uncheck the lasers and just go for a missile payload here. I have tons of missiles, so why not?
Discharging weapon.
Overkill.
Target destroyed.
So the only thing I have are the ACs, but that's fine. Pew pew!
Talk to me.
I can hit it. Let's do it. This should kill it.
Confirmed. Target destroyed.
Now, barring any more surprises, we should be in the clear.
I'll make it happen.
Aye, aye.
Affirmative.
Okay, Mr. Wizard, get us out of here. Thank the gods you made it, Kamea. Captain Halvorson's prepping the engines now. In another 5 minutes, we'll be ready to depart. 5 minutes is a long time. That guy, you see Lady Yamato to the docking ramp. When she's aboard, come back to me. We'll hold this pass against whatever comes.
Thank you, Sir Raju. Thank you both. I won't forget what you've done for me today. I promise you that. Location confirmed.
All units advance. I want you to take down that dropship. Destroy everyone and everything that stands in your way. Alright, that guy. I trained you for this. We'll fight side by side. We'll watch each other's backs. Above all else, we'll keep Lady Urano safe. Protect the dropship. It's all that matters. Warning. Engine heat critical. Warning. Air shutdown initiated. Reactor offline. Weapons offline. Systems inoperable. Trouble with your blackjack, that guy? Shame. That's been happening to a lot of Royal Guard battle mechs lately. You have numbers on us, and you've resorted to sabotage, and you're gloating about it? You've got no honor, you vicious little brat. Not you nor your backstabbing father. Shut your mouth, old man. My father is a great man, and I swear to all the gods, you will suffer if you insult him again. Your father is a coward, and so are you. That guy, I want you to eject now. Punch out. You're no good to anybody in a broken mech, and I won't let you die today. Eject, mech warrior, now. That's an order. Look, that's my mech. Now come for me, Victoria. Your teacher is waiting. Come and show me what you've learned.
Mission successful.
So I don't know when this saves, but I really want to take a break now. Bad time, Domo. Kamea Urano dead. Deposed noble kill during escape. Koromodir lost. 8 hours later, high orbit. Easy there, hero. You took a nasty crack on the head when you punched out. Don't worry, you're safe now. Can I actually stop now? We'll go a little bit forward and see if there's something since we lost our mech. My name is Darius Oliveira, and I am the XO of Markham's Marauders. We're a mercenary outfit with ties to House Arano. We did some work for High Lord Tamati way back when. I'd introduce you to Commander Markham, but he was on a supply run in the Market District when the bombs fell. He didn't make it. Sorry for your loss. Yeah, I am too. He was a good man. A lot of good people died today. We picked up your distress beacon on the emergency band as we were on our way off planet. After seeing what's happened to Markham, it didn't feel right leaving you in the hands of this new directorate. We did a sweep at the combat site, grabbed your ejection pod, and ran. Were you able to recover my blackjack? Yeah, our mech tech hauled what's left of it into the mech bay. It isn't pretty, but if you give him enough time, Yang can fix just about anything. Try not to take the loss too hard. Yang said that your mech shows signs of deliberate sabotage. Whoever you had working on it did a number on the reactor. Punching out was the right move. What about Mastiff? Sir Raju Montgomery, did you find him? We found his mech. It was completely cored out. Nobody survives a hit like that. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. We supported the Royal Guard on a handful of deployments, and Sir Raju earned my respect many times over. His death is a loss for us all. So what happens now? Well, things aren't looking so hot around here, what with the coup and all. House Espinosa's directorate is the new de facto government of the Oregon Reach. I'm sorry to tell you this, but Lady Arano is dead. Her dropship was destroyed on takeoff. It's all over the news. Well, shit. Our sentiments exactly. We're getting the hell out of Oregon territory. We've already booked transport on the first jump ship out. We're heading to a nice quiet stretch of independent space all the way across the frontier on the Canopian border. Not a cheap trip, but we'll worry about how we're going to pay for it later. As for you, well, you've got options. According to your blood shit, you've got family out in the Taurian Concordat. If you want, I could look into booking you transport on a freighter bound for Taurian space. Can't make any promises, but I'm willing to try. So if you're wondering about blood shit, Comstar issued identification carried by mech warriors in the field. So I have a special option here, I think, because of my ancestry. We'll go ahead and go for it. The Concordat isn't my home. Never has been. My family moved to the Reach before I was born. In that case, you could stay with us for the long haul. When we get where you're going, we can drop you at the nearest planet. Maybe you can make a place for yourself there. Of course, I'll need you to pitch in for your share of the fuel, plus food, lodging, and repairs on your mech. Fair is fair, after all. Alternatively, you could find a place for yourself in the Marauders if you wanted to. Wouldn't take you long to work off your debt, and you ran with Mastiff, so I know you've got chops. Think on it. Sleep on it. You've had a hell of a day, and we've got a long road ahead. 3 years later. Apparently it takes a while for me to make up my mind. Okay. So, I'm gonna put a break here and we'll start off with this fight in the next video. I don't know the setup, the premise, what have you. It's just I need to take a bit of a break since this has been going on for way too long. I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.